I am in love with granulating paints. I love them. They're so fun. Hi, I'm Margaret with Sacramento Art Classes. In this short video, I'm going to show you some fun things that you can do with granulating paints and just to play and explore and get you started with watercolors. And if you stick around till the end of the video, I'll talk to you about my free supply list. So let's go. Okay, so as I mentioned, I absolutely love granulating paints, and this is a little set of Daniel Smith granulating paints that I made for myself. And if you have never tried them or never heard of them, they are pigment paints that have sometimes more than one different color within a certain color. So as they dry, the little particles of the pigments separate out from each other and settle into the paper, so that sometimes you get a mix or well, it's an unexpected mix, I guess, of all these different colors that begin to separate. So I wanted to show you a couple of fun ones to use, and I've written them out here, so if you need to check that out, all the names are up on the top. So I'm going to start out with this one, Opera Pink, and then Sodalite Genuine. So Opera Pink is very vibrant up here, and I'm going to start with putting some of the paint up here. I'll go about halfway down maybe. There's my Opera, and then I like that with Sodalite Genuine. But if you decide to do this, just have fun and, you know, play around with colors that you may have, or maybe you have a granulating paint and a non-granulating. So I'm going to put the Sodalite there, and then before the pink dries, I'm going to let them connect and kind of flow together, and then we're going to just leave it alone and see what happens. Actually, I said leave it alone, but maybe you might have fun tipping it back and forth. So if you want to do that, go for it. You'll get an interesting mix. So let's let that one go. Make sure I'm still on the camera for you. And then we're going to try out Lunar Blue, which is here, and then Diopside Green. I use Diopside Green a lot in a lot of my paintings. It's beautiful, and it's kind of a natural blue. Just got a little hair on there. So here's Lunar Blue. It really looks kind of like a very transparent gray. Not a lot of color there. It's almost like a shadow. And then Diopside Green. Going to come up from the bottom here. You can see it's a kind of a nice natural green that you might find in nature, and then as we let those mix, we'll let that have a little tip back and forth as well, and just leave that be, see what happens. Now I want to extra rinse because I'm going to do yellow next, and I want to make sure my brush is clean before I get into my Mayan yellow, and I'm covering it up a little bit. It's this one right here. I don't personally see a huge amount of the granulation happening in Mayan when it's just on its own, but sometimes when you mix it with another color, like quinacridone burnt orange is what I'm going to do, it's this one here, you'll see immediately, here we go, here comes the fun, that the orange really starts flowing into there, and when they dry, you'll see neat separations in there. So I'm just giving it a little tip again, back and forth. So rather than blending it with my brush, I always like to let the paint do its own blending just by having gravity. And then my ultimate favorite of all of the granulating paints is Moon Glow. It is the most coolest color ever. I use it in a lot of things. It can fix almost anything in a painting. You can mix it with other colors. It makes great shadows. And when you let it bloom with a color that's a little bit wetter than itself, or even just water, watch what it does. So here's my water, and I'm going to come on in there. Need a little bit more Moon Glow right here where they join, and then this one separates out into 2 or 3 different colors. It's got a green in there, it's got a violet and a blue. I can't remember. I could be, don't quote me, because I could be telling you the wrong thing there. But it's made of different pigments, and let's do this. Let's even push a little touch of water up there and make a bloom. So we got to let this dry, and I'll come back to it in a minute when it's dry. But hopefully, if you liked this and learned anything from it, you can ask a question or make a comment below. Like this, share it with friends. And if you want a copy of my free supply list, just click the link below, and I will send you the supply list that I have kind of put together after 25 years of painting. So we'll let this sit, and I'll show you it again in just a few minutes. All right, here we are all dry, and you can see just the beautiful blends that are happening. You could see how the heavy pigments in the paints have kind of settled into this paper. This is just a little practice paper that I'm using, and it has some
machine milled marks in it, so you can see where the paint settled in. That was on purpose because I wanted you to be able to see really how that paint settles in there. And then here's that bloom that I made in the moon glow where I just dripped water on. So give these a try. Thanks for watching and happy painting.